Okay, a pleasant good morning to you all. I'm just testing to find out if we are all in. Um, you also reminded that I will be recording the meeting. So I just want to confirm to those who are logged in, if you can hear me, you can actually unmute your mics when you are given the opportunity. But when you are not given the opportunity, we will kindly ask you to mute your mic so that we do not hear the sound effects that would be coming in. Can I just confirm with some of you if you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Ross.
Yes, we can hear you.
Wonderful. So allow me at this moment to actually, thank Mr. Itai Bonda for allowing us to launch his very good book. And I think maybe it's actually a leading book and one of its own, the first of its kind, which is actually simplifying the labor relations in Zimbabwe and actually coming as a practitioner's toolbox. This is actually a handy tool kit, which I had occasion to also peruse and acquaint myself with as someone who also practices law and also does a lot of labor law related work. I find that this book actually demystifies the procedures and the expectations when we are filing, labor cases. And this is a book that is written by a practitioner, and I find it excellent because most books are written from a bystander perspective, but fortunately for the Zimbabwean legal fraternity, this book has been written by a practitioner and also a leading designated agent. And I believe that it brings a seismic shift to the culture of writing in Zimbabwe. And I'm very happy to introduce Mr. Itai Bonda, who is a registered labor practitioner and is the current chairperson and co-founding member of the Association for Designated Agents of Zimbabwe, AFDAZ. And as I was just reading his impressive resume, I also found that he is the corporate services non-executive director of the enterprise. He is also the current chairperson and co-founding member of the Association for Designated Agents of Zimbabwe, as I've indicated. He is an experienced human capital practitioner of 12 years. And due to his profound interest in employment law, Itai founded the Association for Designated Agents of Zimbabwe, an association that seeks to promote ethical standards and integrity in the practice of labor law, and also hopes to promote the exchange of ideas and information in the field of employment law, which will go a long way in forging synergies with international bodies, such as the International Labour Organization, in order to promote adherence to international standards in labor practice by the designated agents. And currently, Itai is the senior designated agent for the National Employment Council for the Zimbabwe energy industry, NEC, and also acts as a general secretary for the NEC, which is a workforce of approximately 13,000 employees. And the strong and diverse workforce in the energy industry that comprises of 9 member companies, including ZESA Holdings, Private Limited, Zimbabwe Electricity Transmission and Distribution Company, Zimbabwe Power Company, ZESA Enterprises Private Limited, PowerTel, National Oil Infrastructure Company of Zimbabwe, NOIC, Petros Zimline, among others. And also this, quite a big industry exposed. I would kindly ask that we mute our mics. It has exposed Itai to diverse labor matters, from conciliation, arbitration, rulings, labor trials, appeals, reviews, and alternative methods of dispute resolution in the realm of labor, including at the labor court and high court levels. And before his current position at NEC Energy, Itai once worked for the government of Zimbabwe for 7 years in the Ministry of Public Service, Labor and Social Welfare as the senior labor officer and arbitrator for the whole of Matabeleland region. And Itai has a good working relationship and an in-depth understanding of both private and public sectors. He also did a research in partial fulfillment of his master's degree in business administration that was entitled An Assessment of the Effectiveness of Alternative Dispute Resolution System in Resolving Labor Disputes, a case of the next sector. And this thesis and dissertation or research, I think, empowered and stimulated him to write this very good book. And I believe this book is an interesting read, and a copy may be available to you upon request. And Itai, as a professional, is also a holder of the following professional qualifications: a master's in business administration, University of Zimbabwe, obtained in 2017 with a merit in the dissertation, and also he holds a Bachelor of Science honors degree in psychology, University of Zimbabwe, which was obtained in 2006. And also he has a postgraduate diploma in law, conciliation and arbitration from the University of Zimbabwe, which was also obtained in 2012. And I believe with this impressive resume, we have an author whom I believe we can also celebrate. He has demonstrated to us that he has been showing consistency, even from a research perspective and from a practitioner's perspective, that he wants to see that legal procedures as far as labor-related matters in the NEC industry, are understood by all and sundry. And I believe that this book will also be very much important for lawyers, for designated agents, for judges, and even for our students. We happen to be offering industrial relations as a course in the governance and public management department at the University of Zimbabwe. And I want to thank Mr. Itai Bonda for actually giving us an important toolkit, which also will be a very good resource for our students, especially in this era where we have blended learning, both online and sometimes we have in-person teaching. So I want to thank him very much for being such an important human resource who comes at a time when we really need to have a culture of writing in our country. Without much ado, let me also thank all the participants who have, abandoned their schedules, tight schedules, to actually come and be part of this auspicious event where we are celebrating a groundbreaking book in the labor labor relations area. Let me also acknowledge the presence of my dean, the dean of the faculty of social and behavioral sciences, Professor Innocent Chirisa. I haven't had occasion to check if he has joined, but he promised that he was going to be part of this very noble and important event. I also want to thank the chairperson of the Governance and Public Management, Dr. Tawanda Zinyama. And also I want to thank the whole university, including our VC, Professor Mafumo, and also the Research Council, who I know also endorsed this launch. I also want to thank the chairperson of the Seminars and Symposiums Committee, Dr. Solomon Mukwai, and the members of that esteemed committee. I see Dr. Prolific Mataruse, and I also see other members and lecturers in the Department of Governance and Public Management at the University of Zimbabwe. I also want to thank members of ILO, all those who have managed to be part of this event. Can you just wave maybe or we can just even put or utilize the chat box to just indicate to us for all the attendees? I can see now we have 28. Oh, I can see a hand. Can you just maybe give your name? Can unmute your mic.
Morning.
Morning, yes. Thank you very much.
I'm Talent Shamido from Impendo Enterprises.
Thank you very much. Can I have other participants from ILO?
My name is Maoba, but also coming from ICT or ILO.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, proceed.
Yeah, I am Asma Obiye from General Union of Cameroon Workers, University of Ngaoundéré.
Oh, thank you. You said it's the University of
Ngaoundéré in Cameroon.
Oh, thank you very much. We are happy that Cameroon is here, and maybe you can participate. You can get by just writing in the chat box your full details, so that we can also capture that as part of our, participants report.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm being reminded that the dean is actually attending another meeting, but he is here with us in mind and in Camera Day, celebrating what one of the products of our university has done in actually coming, playing this iconic role in coming up with this, very important book. Can I have your quick introductions for the for others who are also present?
Hi, everybody.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tafat Wasaka Rombe. I'm a DA at NEC Chemicals. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. And we hope now that we are having our UZ 5.0, that also has industry and innovation, the NEC Chemicals is also coming to add in, and you share with us a lot of, insights from the chemicals side. the NEC chemicals. Thank you very much. Maybe before you can continue to introduce yourself, allow me to also, at this point in time, just introduce the Secretary General for the Association of Designated Agents of Zimbabwe, AFDAZ, Madam Memory Darikwa. I know I have to have a special mention. I can see she's there. She's also supporting us. Madam, do you have a word to say? We want to thank you very much for supporting your chairperson and also in joining us. Do you have some few congratulatory or introductory remarks? Over to you, Madam.
Thank you so much, Doc. I'm very excited to be here, if not overwhelmed, because we are breaking new ground as a generation, as the designated agents. So I'm very excited. I'm overwhelmed because this is a great achievement. And I know that it's just the beginning, not just for Honorable Bonda, our very able chairperson, but I think it's also a new day, a platform for new things, even for our industry as designated agents. So a big congratulations to Honorable Bonda, to AFDAS Association, to Zuda Union. We are very proud of you, Honorable Bonda, and I want the world to know today that you are a very able and wise and diligent leader. So we celebrate with you as a union, as an association, as your brothers and sisters, and as an industry at large. So congratulations, and keep on keeping on. We are proud of you, and we've got your back. We are here to support you. Thank you, Doc.
Indeed, so well, given words. We want to thank you, the SG. We know we wish you we wish you a very good luck as you also, climb, the ladders in your industry, and also as you, make sure that the industry is well oiled in terms of its operations. Allow me also to thank the Acting Director, Labor Administration in the Ministry of Public Service, Labor and Social Welfare, Mr. Langton Gorima, for also supporting this very important occasion. Mr. Langton Gorima, if you are can you also give a few remarks in this regard? Okay. Let me proceed. Allow me also to acknowledge the presence of the Executive Director of MCOS, Madam Mukwewa, if she's now with us.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Madam.
Let me begin by saying that, I'm so excited by this development by Itai Bonda. Having known him for a while, and I'm so happy that he has grown from a mere designated agent to be an author of this important book. Personally, also as an arbitrator, I want to congratulate him for this important tool that we will also refer to. Congratulations, Itai, Makorokoto, Amklope, wishing you the best always. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy that you were here, Madam Executive Director. And if we have the Employers Confederation of Zimbabwe, I'm sure, you know, since we have a module on industrial relations, we are also going to have, you know, very much enriched, you know, guest, you know, lectures, because we have been favored to actually have you in our midst. Thank you very much. Let me also acknowledge the presence of Mr. Sifas Mavondo, who is a prominent lawyer practicing with Mishi and Ngomo legal practice in Zimbabwe. He is also very much, you know, active in labor related matters. And I also know that he has been also widely, you know, cited by our judges as an author. If Mr. Mavondo is around, I know he authored the preface to this very important book. I will give you time to just have some word with us. I can see Mr. Mavondo is here. Mr. Mavondo, thank you very much. I know you can maybe disabuse us of the legalese and just demystify the law as Mr. Itai Bonda has done to us. Can you, Mr. Mavondo, indicate to us what you gleaned from this very important book, which we all together can celebrate? Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Office. I want to start by congratulating Itai Bonda on coming up with this important toolkit. It is, in my view, one of the most important toolkits in labor relations. One thing that I liked on this particular book is it is so simplified. It is so simplified, and one cannot afford not to refer to it. I think one will appreciate, you know, when you are reading something that has been authored by someone who has hands-on experience with you know, labor relations cases, you can actually tell that this is not something that was written from someone who was just relied on, you know, theoretical perspectives. So I want to thank Mr. Bonda for coming up with this book. Maybe one thing that I just wanted to highlight about Itai Bonda is I was not surprised. I was not surprised that he ended up coming up with this book. I want to say this man is a revolutionist. He is a revolutionist in the sense that he seeks to change the world, not by mere talk, by action. You know, I don't want to go back to his background, but for those who have researched about him, he's a man who thrived to change his environment. He has decided to, you know, grow from a mere, you know, young village boy, from good, you know, to recognize the designated agent. So, you know, it reminds me of the man called Elon Musk. I think we've heard about him. He is actually changing the world. As you might have realized, he's the founder of the company called Tesla, which is making, you know, electric cars, and also the producer of, rockets that are going to take people to Mars. So, Mr. Itai, you are one of our, Elon Musk, in Zimbabwe. Keep on doing the good work. Keep on thriving to change the world. The book is rich. Thank you so much, Dr. Office, for giving me this opportunity. Congratulations, Mr. Bonda.
Indeed, the congratulations are well received and well oiled, Mr. Mavondo. Thank you very much. And I think for Mr. Bonda, you have the success is very simple. Do the right thing at the right time, as you have done. Without much ado, maybe before I give Mr. Bonda the time to maybe just take us through, let me give this opportunity. I can see people are utilizing the chat box. Can I give this opportunity to our international and also representative members from organizations, although you utilize the chat box, can you also just maybe quickly introduce yourself, just in 20 seconds because of our time? I can see we have Mr. Mazani and others who are not mentioned. So you can just quickly introduce yourself.
My name is Mr. Gumbo. Actually, Itai's dad. Let me say his dad because I'm his dad's young brother. I'm actually very happy for you, young man, and you're raising the flag very high, and you have always been a standard person, and I'm not surprised that you came up with such a wonderful book, and yeah, keep on going, young man. The sky is the limit. I'm in the United Kingdom. Well done, young man. Thank you, Dr. Office.
Thank you very much. Indeed, there is. Thank you that you have indicated to us your support, and thank you, because a house divided against itself cannot stand. You have come to actually, indicate to us that indeed you are supporting the young men. Who else can actually, introduce themselves?
Good morning.
Morning.
Chisango is my name. I'm from Zesa Holdings, and I'm very proud of being associated with Mr. Bonda, with the DA in our industry. And thank you, congratulations to Mr. Bonda. We meet in the offices. We come back from this launch.
Thank you very much for having someone from neck industry, and that especially Zesa. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, I can see Mr. Osioke Joseph Momo from Itusilo.
Hello, comrade.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Can you hear me? Good morning. Good morning.
Yes,
Good morning.
we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm calling from Nigeria.
Can send it.
Speaking from Nigeria. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello. Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
From Nigeria.
Unfortunately, I think we are losing your connection, Mr. Joseph. We seem to be losing your connection. We are not quite hearing you. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. And let me also thank all those who are using our chat box. I can see Maopa asking. I can also see Mr. Samoa BA from Sinapak, University of Ngaoundra, under the General Union of Cameroon Workers. I can also see, a lot of other guys, Jem Guni and Essenjof, DAs from the Neck Clothing, and thank you very much for that. Without much ado, let me, give all the time to the man of the moment, Mr. Itai Bonda. They say, be sure you put your feet in the right place, then stand firm. And those wise words were spoken by former and the late US President Abraham Lincoln. And now that Mr. Bonda has begun writing, let me hasten to just say character is like a tree and reputation like a shadow. The shadow is what we think of it, but the tree is the real thing, the real big deal. Again, is coming from Abraham Lincoln. I believe that you're not going to stop here. So over to you. We want to hear what enthused you to actually come up with this very important book. Over to you, Mr. Itai Bonda. You can wave wherever you are. If we were seeing each other, we would have given him a standing ovation. But of course, you can just, indicate how you love the men. Thank you, Mr. Bonda.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sharon Office, our Director of Ceremony. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Oh, wonderful. Dr. Sharon, I could easily have said I would want to stand on the ground of the protocols that were made. But with the respect and appreciation that I have for the people who are in our midst, give me the indulgence to singularly honor the presence of the Chairperson of the Faculty of Social and Behavioral Science, Dr. D. Zinyama, the Dean of the Faculty of Behavioral Science, Professor Aichirisa, the Acting Director, Labor Administration in the Ministry of Public Service, Labor and Social Welfare, Mr. Langton Gorima, the International Trade Union Congress Africa, ITUCA, the International Training Center, ITC, International Labor Organization, ILO, Social Protection Collaborative Training Program, TUTA, Comrade Eustace Imoria James. I also would want to acknowledge and appreciate the activity manager for the same organization, Madam H. Nyangarara. Doctor, I would also like to acknowledge the chairperson of our Symposia Committee for the National Employment Councils, Madam Rose Mambo. I would just say, distinguished speakers and guests, I am really humbled. The love, the support, the encouragement that you are showing is enormous. And I'm not surprised because you are actually able people. Dr. Sharon, having said that, I'm also greatly honored to having been afforded this opportunity to address you on this historic event. I stand proud as an accomplished labor relations practitioner from the premier university of Zimbabwe. I'm sure you really introduced me very well. First and foremost, I'm a graduate of this faculty. And I also moved to the Faculty of Law to further or deepen my understanding in conciliation and arbitration. Then I also went to the University of Zimbabwe Business School for the Masters in Business Administration. And throughout these years, I do not have any doubt that I was equipped with the necessary tools, I was equipped with the knowledge that is necessary for real practice. And I am now coming back to the university to say, what you have done, we are now putting to good use to change the lives of workers, to change the characters of industries, to change the nation, the world at large. So I would also want to acknowledge the program, the Education 5.0 program. It is really, really important because it assists in bridging the gap between theory and practice. Doctor, on that note again, I'm sure you should allow me to also acknowledge the presence of my father, Mr. Gumbo, who is actually connecting from the United Kingdom. It is always heartwarming to have your family around when you do something. So I'm really grateful for that. Having said that, I'm sure I should now take you through the book. Let me try to share the screen here so that we can be speaking the same thing. Are you seeing my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
You can confirm. Yes.
Yes, it's okay.
Thank you very much. There we are. So for us to have a good appreciation of this book, I think it is important that we put it in the proper context. The term labor relations has to be understood simply if we are to understand this book. So here we are talking of relationship. It's an arrangement between the employees and their representatives, the employer and their representatives, the government and its agencies, probably through the National Employment Councils. It is these three bodies that come together to set the ground rules, to set the tone upon which employment relationships, upon the terms and conditions of employment are regulated. It is simply as that. And probably I would also want you to understand that it is within the labor relations fraternity where we started to have the devolution or decentralization of functions.
C'est un travail fallant. Si c'est à la main, donc m'avait fait.
Oh, can you kindly mute your mic?
C'est pas question d'expérience.
The host, you can actually mute everybody. Then we can probably have a smooth discussion. Thank you for that. I meant to say that before, say, 1990, 1992, the labor relations, the labor administration function was actually okay. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Joe. So I was saying the labor relations functions was actually centralized within the Ministry of Labor. The labor officers used to issue determinations, used to do everything that is related to labor. But with the coming in of ESAP around 1992, that was the Economic Structure Adjustment Program, it also came with some austerity measures. There was some fiscal consolidation, and it was actually feasible for industries to decentralize and have this function of labor relations within their specific industries. So this is the period when these national employment councils were formed. So at the moment, I'm sure we have around 48 national employment councils, which are industry specific around Zimbabwe. So what are these NECs? NECs are actually bodies. They are voluntary in nature. They are formulated in terms of Section 56 of the Labor Act. They comprise of the employers through the association, the employees through the trade unions, and government will come in to regulate as the regulator. And also important on this National Employment Council is the Secretariat, which is headed by the General Secretary. And also important is the Office of the Designated Agents. Designated agents are actually appointed in terms of Section 63. So the designated agents, they give effect, they give life to the function of the National Employment Council. Simply put, designated agents are the conciliators, they are the arbitrators, they are the inspectors of the National Employment Council. Their functions, their role is equal to that of the labor officer in the Ministry of Labor. And they exercise this role in terms of Section 93 of the Labor Act. Right. Now I would want to go to the gap that led to the development of this tool, the development of this book. You would be surprised that there is no homegrown, deliberate or systematic point of reference to orient new designated agents, new labor officers, or even students of labor relations who are in various universities into the field of labor relations practice. Doctor, you would want to know This industry is actually lucrative. It is a very, very good industry for the students to pursue as a career, but they need to be guided properly. Right. The book also sets out the procedure to follow in conducting conciliation, determination, arbitration, rulings, applications to the labor courts for confirmation, and even the inspection procedure. So is the ABC Book of Labor Relations. I would want to call it the Green Book of Labor Relations. Last and not least, the book also tries to bridge the gap or the bridge between practice and theory. So it will come handy for the lecturers of labor relations. It will come handy for the students of labor relations, employment law, and even general students studying masters in business administration. Is quite handy. So that's the gap that the book is coming to actually cover. So in essence, this book is a first edition. It is coming in as a guide. It tries to reflect on important procedures and give practical tools in the practice of labor relations. What am I saying? I am saying that this book actually contains real documents that are used in labor relations. You now do not want to be told. You now have to see what exactly and how it is done. So in essence, it answers the three questions: the what, the how, and the why of the processes of labor relations. Like was rightly said by Mr. Mavondo, who also happens to have edited this book was simplified because it is trying to reach out to a simple employee, to a simple employer who might be in the small to medium enterprise level or cluster, and also it answers or speaks to an accomplished employer or practitioner. Right. In terms of contents, your book is actually 4 chapters. The first chapter, which is the introduction, tries to talk about the labor relations and change. Remember, change is something that we cannot stop. We are living in a VUCA environment. The environment is volatile. It is uncertain, it is complex and ambiguous. So this book also tries to speak to that. Then it also talks about labor relations in practice, what exactly practice means. Then it also gives the practical tools that a labor relations practitioner requires if he or she is supposed to be successful in this industry. Then it also gives a guide on how to use this handbook. This manual is a Bible of labor relations. Then the meat of the book, it talks of conciliation in chapter 2. Conciliation in terms of our jurisdiction, in terms of section 93 of the Labor Act, is a bit broad. It actually includes mediation, It includes redressing, that is determination, and it also includes attempting to redress, and all the other various aspects or forms of conciliation. Is a wide open check. To simplify issues here, Doctor, the author also provides a pictorial view for the layman to try and trace the process of conciliation. Let me go to the flowchart. This is the flowchart I'm referring to.
Okay.
It actually traces the dispute, the grievance, from the point of entry, from the point of registration. That is when an employee or an employer who is aggrieved actually register a dispute. This could be online. We have to actually speak to the current environment that we are living, the new normal under the pandemic, where technology is actually taking over, if it hasn't actually done so. Then it also takes note of face-to-face filing of disputes. Then it goes to number 2 there, to number 3 there, where the labor officer or designated agent will now issue a notice for the parties to attend to proceedings. Then you realize that when the officer or DA issued this notice, there are also important things to take note of. These will come in the book in form of tips to say, why do you need to actually acknowledge or keep record of acknowledgement of receipts. Then the actual process of conciliation will take place here at number 4. It may lead to a certificate of settlement or no settlement. Then if it gets to a ruling, then it will go to the process of registration to the labor court, or it might be determination in terms of section 63 as it relates to the designated agent. This is the flow, Doctor. It is quite clear. It's a picture. Anybody can follow this. So the author also gives a typical ruling, what we call a ruling, so that a student of labor relations is acquainted with what is a ruling. A practitioner of labor relations is acquainted with what is a ruling. Right.
I think you have 5 minutes.
There's also an aspect of redressing there that could be simply known as determination in real practice.
You have 5 minutes.
We also provided a typical determination there. Then we also provided some tips. Then chapter 3 talks of arbitration. Arbitration in our jurisdiction comes in 2 forms. It could be voluntary, it could be compulsory. And both these dimensions, these forms are explained in full. And real arbitration awards are also shown. Real tips are also given. Then I also took the opportunity to cover the area of online arbitration. It is a new area in our jurisdiction, Doctor, but we cannot avoid the aspect of technology now. So we have to relate to it. Then we also give tips there. Then the last chapter talks of inspections. Inspection, Doctor, is very critical. It is actually at the heart of labor relations because it tries to avoid disputes from arising. So here we speak of statutory inspections and the other various forms of inspections. The tips are given there. Now these are random picks. These are random extracts from the book. The book also talks of disputes that can be conciliated and those that cannot be conciliated, and the reasons. It gives reference to current case law. You see, we have got the ISOQuant judgment. It is also mentioned in detail in the book. Those are the tips, the arbitral award, and the inspections. Probably let me take you back here, Doctor. This one is also important. This one, we call it a conciliation table. It now details the whole process of conciliation, the how part of it, what it entails, what the labor practitioner is supposed to do, what the employer, what the trade unionist or the HR manager is supposed to look out for when in the process of conciliation. So it starts with the introduction there, then it gives you the reasons why introduction is important. Then it also goes to storytelling, just for the party to issue out or release pent-up emotions. Is supposed to be given an opportunity to say whatever are the issues in dispute. Then it will also get to the analysis and the stage of formulating advice to the parties. Let me just quickly get to this. On the certificate of no settlement, you realize that the author will now try to give you the reasons why the certificate of no settlement is important, why it's supposed to be taken note of by both the parties and the practitioner. So in summary, Doctor, without wasting much time, I would think this is well about the book. This is the summary about the book. It is a practical book. There is nothing that is much of theory. It is actually a window. It's a rare window into the office of the designated agent. It is a rare window into the office of a labor officer. If you have this book, it's like you have a moving office of the designated agent. You have the moving office of the labor officer. You can inquire from the book as you are inquiring from the designated agent. Doctor, allow me to say that this is your book.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bonda. We thank you very much for giving us and taking us through the book. And I'm happy that, Abraham Lincoln, again, I will refer to him, he said, if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend 6 hours sharpening my axe. And I'm sure you have done justice to that. And because of that, we are very happy that we indeed have this book that speaks and demystifies the procedures. You know, very much at time, we have, times when we just, plod in the dark. But you have given us an opportunity to have a book where even when you are preparing heads of arguments or you are also considering the timelines, you can just, give sight to a tool's guide and then make sure that you don't prejudice your clients, you also are not found wanting when it comes to following the procedure as enunciated in our statutes. So thank you very much once again. And I know, if you were here, all of us would have given you another, standing ovation. We thank those who are from Nigeria. I think when they Zimbabwe is a beautiful country with a beautiful people and a beautiful owners. And I want to thank you, guys. Do we have any? Maybe I'll give you 2 or maybe in the next 5 minutes, so that we conclude. Those with interventions, you can make your interventions on what you think about this book. Anyone to give us some interventions?
Hello, thank you, Doc.
Thank you very much, Honorable Korima from the ministry.
Thank you very much. My name is Mr. Ngorima Lincoln. I'm the administration. Just wanted to add my voice to say we are quite excited as a department because my young brother is one of us, and this book gives us an inside perspective, the story told by those that live it. And I hope this is the beginning of inspiration of many others that are amongst us who have writing skills but have not been able to have the courage to put their thoughts and their knowledge into a book. We have reach of knowledge within the labor administration system, and I would want to say, let us for this initiative, as has been done by my young brother. This book will provide us with the necessary tools, and it's also a starting point that many others will build up on. And I certainly encourage practitioners to find themselves with the book. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ngorima. We are very much honored. Maybe let me take one more intervention. If we have one other person who wants to give an intervention.
Yes, through the chair.
Can you mute the other mics, please?
Yes, through the chair, I would also want to come in.
Yes.
Hello. Yes,
I can see Rose. Yes.
Yes, my name is Rose Mambo. And I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Mr. Bonda on the launching of his book. And coming from the NEC fraternity and also representing all the National Employment Councils as the current chairperson of the NEC symposium, I would like to take the opportunity to congratulate Mr. Bonda once again and to say this book is actually going to be a tool that we are supposed to be using as all industries together. And we thank Mr. Bonda for taking the lead. And I'm sure all those that are in the labor relations fraternity know the hurdles and the challenges and the complexities that have been going on to the dispute resolution systems that we have in the country. And we sincerely hope that this book is actually going to simplify things for us so that our processes as the ministry and as the NECs actually go according to plan. And once again, congratulations, Mr. Bonda.
Thank you very much, Rose, for that intervention. One last intervention.
Good morning, Dr. Office.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mazan Isaac.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Mr. Bonda first, but perhaps I'll just make it a couple of minutes or just a minute. Mr. Bonda is a personal friend, and I'm very proud to be associated with the launch of his book, which, as you said, is actually quite groundbreaking. And I'm not surprised because I've known Mr. Bonda for the past 10 years. We met at the University of Zimbabwe on a program on conciliation and arbitration some 10 years ago. And ever since that time, I've seen Mr. Bonda growing into what I can describe as a principled, a diligent, a well-groomed and fine gentleman. I think you would agree with me that, I mean, if you know Mr. Bonda quite well, that is the sort of man that he is. One of these days, just some weeks ago, I approached him. I just said to him, my colleague, I've got a plan. I need to write a book. And I think I would like to make you part of that book. And he said, look, by the way, I am writing a book and I'm almost through. I'm going to invite you. He did invite me to actually, be part of the review of the book. Unfortunately, at the time I was tied up and I wasn't able to do that. But nonetheless, all I want to say is that I'm proud to be associated with Mr. Bonda, and I want to congratulate him on this rare occasion of the launch of his book, which I believe is going to be a very useful tool to all labor practitioners, people in the HR profession, and lawyers as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Indeed, we want to thank Mr. Bonda for having joined us all, and Alexander the Great Greek. I think we all know him. He said there's nothing impossible to him who will try. And because of our father, Mr. Gumbo, Alexander the Great would also have said, I'm indebted to my father for living, but also thank the teachers for living well. And all participants who joined in, I must thank you at this moment. Remember, upon the conduct of each depends the fate of all. We want to thank you very much for allowing Mr. Itai Bonda to realize that he would rather excel others in the knowledge of what is excellent than in the extent of his power and dominion. Even though he's a chairperson and a non-designated agent, he has actually shown to us, can you kindly mute your mics, please? In faith and to hope, the world, we know we may disagree, but all mankind's concern will be to share the knowledge. And he has set the pace for us like a marathon. You pick up the pace until you reach the finishing line. I hope that we are going to have many authors who will be inspired. The book goes for $35. I think you can support him. It is a very good book. I had occasion to read it. And I believe if you read it as a practitioner, as a lawyer, as a teacher, you won't be scared to be saying, I'm dying from the treatment of two men physicians. You will actually be celebrating this kind of physician who has aesthetically taken us through the motions to enable and empower us to know the law as it is, the procedures as they are. Once again, let me thank the university authorities, our Department of Governance and Public Management, my chairperson and members from the seminar, Science Symposia Committee, lecturers and friends, students of the University of Zimbabwe. I can see Noma is also there. I can see Chaza. And we also want to thank, all the other representative organizations from the NEC industry, designated agents who also felt it took it as an obligation to come and support their very own. I know you were given the perspective of giraffes who can see beyond the obvious. Thank you very much. I want to also thank the guys who are so wonderful, who were helping the IT guys from the Department of Social and Behavioral Science, Madam Shami, Madam Tendai, Maria, and also our sir, who were also making sure that we also Zoom together and zone together to celebrate this very important occasion. Once again, allow me to thank you all for coming to this occasion. We have come to the end of our program, and allow me to do the unusual and just give the Digumbo to thank us all, because he is the father who authored this, his son who has also authored this very good book, which has brought us all together. Over to you from the United Kingdom. I know we can also even share the Brexit moments and how maybe you are also maybe going to thank those who have graced this occasion. Baba Gumbo.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ofisi. It is indeed a very exciting moment, and I want to take this opportunity to really thank everyone who has worked behind the scenes to make this launch a success. The young man you see, I call him young man because he is one of the very hardest young boys I have in the family. You know, when you count in your family and say we need the guys who know what they are doing, the brain ones and whatever, there comes Itai. And just to enlighten you, he's one boy. He used to walk for what, 9 kilometers, Itai, from home to Gutu to your school, 10 kilometers every single morning. And there he is now. And I really say to the authorities, the university authorities, the working world, the union, and everyone else, thank you ever so much for gracing the occasion and for supporting my son. And I'm hoping that, it's the beginning of the great things to come. And yeah, we're looking forward to more books, Majira. I call him Majira
Thank you very much, Baba. Thank you. We hope those connections will turn into friendships, and those friendships will lead to introductions that become connections. Continue to write, Itai. We are starting to pay attention. We are continuing to engage, and we will pay even more attention. You write even more, we get even more engagements. You have enormous network you have created for yourself, a group of people you can get constructive feedback from. You can share your frustrations, your writing blogs, and also you can bounce an idea off and count on us for your support, and you can get advice on many other issues. Thank you very much. And we hope that in writing books, Solomon says there's no end. Keep on keeping on. Be our shining light. Shine bright like a diamond. Thank you very much. Thank you all, and goodbye. Even those beyond our borders, thank you very much for gracing this auspicious event. Share the news, popularize the guy and his book, and we are all together connected. Thank you very much.
Atanzi Lecture na half 10. Yes. After meeting with